Welcome back.
You did the old opening.
EriDan Film Festival.
Was that the original opening?
That was more or less. I mean, we did some really generic things up front, but that was the original. We did that for the longest time.
For the longest time.
Exactly. It's the EriDan Film Festival, episode 200. Movie 246.
Wow, 246.
So if you're wondering, so Dan, if you can indulge me for 70 seconds here.
I'll indulge.
If people are sitting back going, well, gee, what have we missed?
Oh boy.
Yeah, here we go. There you go.
Wow.
So wow. 246 movies, 4 years,
my
200
God,
episodes.
Think of the amount of time we've wasted on this show.
Like the last 70 seconds, I think more than that.
No, that was worth it. I had a very special thing planned, and I started it last week when I was traveling, and then I got distracted, and then I went back to it, and it was they were asking way more. I was going to do a cameo again. I was going to do a cameo.
Okay.
Now the first one we did was Leah Thompson.
Yes, who was phenomenal.
Yes, we can maybe play that later in the show. That was for the 100th. I thought, who can I get for the 200th? And so I'm going through, and I found an actor who's pretty big, who's on Cameo, and we've never done one of his movies. And I wrote this whole thing out to have him like rip on it. Like, how dare we not do one of his movies? 200, and he's got 280 credits on IMDb. We've never done one of his movies.
Oh my.
And then I had to research, did we do one of his movies? Because, I always forget. I went through the list.
You think we've done everything.
And we didn't do one of his movies.
Okay.
And then when I started to fill out the thing on Cameo, when I cut and pasted what I wanted to say, it said I was 291 characters over the allowed amount. Like they limit what you can do now.
Oh, wow.
And so then I got frustrated, and then the price went up like a week later, and I was like, screw it.
And there I thought you knew Rick Springfield personally.
It wasn't going to be Rick Springfield. I probably should have just had him do one. I probably could have got that. I never thought of that. But you know who it was?
I have no idea.
I'll give one movie clue.
Oh boy.
And you'll get it. Dave will get it immediately. A Clockwork Orange. Hold on. Here we go. Dave, who am I talking about?
Malcolm McDowell?
We've never done a Malcolm McDowell movie, and he's on Cameo.
He's on Cameo. I had no idea.
Would that have been fun? No. See, I'm glad I didn't do it now. Would have wasted $150. All right.
Sure.
So
I mean,
brought
we've
Dave-
never
hold
done
on.
a Pauly Shore movie either, but
Ooh,
Ooh.
maybe for 300.
Maybe. Maybe.
All right, we brought Dave in already, so I guess we'll start bringing people in.
I think you should probably bring some people in. I think that's a good idea. It's time.
All right, play an opening.
All right. Stacy and Wade.
Look at that shirt.
Wade wearing one of the finest T-shirts I think I've ever
Nice. You could model the back. No, I don't know if I can turn around like that.
Look at the back.
seen. Back. Can we see the back? And look at
is
this camera work.
is it
Oh
Top
man,
Gun
look at
2?
all this happening.
It says, "I don't break for donkeys."
Must be so
Made by 4 of the nicest Palestinian men I've ever met,
Yeah.
or they might have been Iraqi.
Speaking, no, I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah. Nicest men.
Nicest
Only
men.
4 of the nicest men.
Nicest. Oh, that wouldn't that be nice? Sure, let's go with that.
That's Scott? Yes, it's Scott.
It's Scott. As a baby, he'll grow. Bring Scott back.
What? I see this as an absolute win.
Happy 200th episode, mother muckers! Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, it's a party. Now you know it's a special night though,
Why?
because Adam.
It's
yeah.
In the beginning, there was
An intro that could be not more true. In the beginning, there was Adam.
we finally called Adam special on this show. This is
And look, is it really Adam, or is it just the outline of Adam?
He's being protected.
There it is.
We have to send Adam a light.
Are your voices? Is your voice disguised?
Why does Adam always look like he's in a hotel room whenever he calls in?
Because he usually is.
That's a very good point too.
Fun fact, I've been here for every single show.
Yes, absolutely.
More so than me.
That is
Yeah.
true.
That's true too.
He was once outside Dan's house, but he was.
I know I missed game night, but I don't think I've missed any of these.
I don't think you have either. You've been
No,
late.
I don't think so. So good night.
Although when you had surgery, did you miss one? When you had the surgery on your neck?
That's a good question.
Oh.
I'll have to
Anyway,
look.
what's tonight's movie, Eric?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked, Dan, because tonight we're going to be talking about Wayne's World from 1992.
Woo!
Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, Tia Carrere, Rob Lowe, Laura Flynn Boyle, and Broyle McMurray. There it is. $30 million. This is our third week in a row where the budget for the movie was $30 million. But worldwide gross of $183 million. The critics over there at Rotten Tomatoes giving it a 79%. The audience at an 84%. I will tell you why I chose this movie.
Yes, why?
We started with UHF. We started with a movie talking about cable programming. I thought this was a perfect matchup to go back to screwball comedies and have a reference to the first original movie that we ever reviewed, which was UHF with Weird Al. And it's Wayne's World. And obviously, for those of us of a certain demographic, huge impact growing up for Wayne's World on us there. And Mike Myers and Saturday Night Live was obviously ruled the day for all things televisions and quotable comedy. Some of it not repeatable nowadays, maybe. But no swing. Swinging here tonight. You keep your swinging to yourself. And so Wayne's World. And there we go.
So my thing is, first off, 1992, huge year. I mean, that's when we started stand-up. I remember we went to the mall and we found a Wayne's World hat. I actually owned the Wayne's World. Do we both
did have
one, or
the
did
hat
I
for
just
the
get one?
longest time.
You had the blonde hair and the glasses. I mean, we were Wayne and Garth.
I definitely had the mullet.
So did I. I had a big mullet. The movie I think actually has aged well, even though there's a little bit of stuff you probably couldn't get away with today. But you've got Chris Farley's first ever film appearance.
Yep.
The backstory of Alice Cooper getting in the film, I just heard when I was listening to Shep Gordon's autobiography, Supermensch, who was Alice Cooper's manager, and the fact that they didn't play Schools Out, and that's what Mike Myers wanted them to do, Schools Out.
Mm-hmm.
And Alice Cooper's manager said the only way he'll do it is if he gets to do this new song, which ended up charting because of the movie. And Bohemian Rhapsody, this is one of 3 times it hit the charts at number 1.
Wow.
I honestly feel like there was an era. I mean, the music from this movie is fantastic. Like, there were a ton of amazing performances and songs included in this movie, depending on whether you like Tia Carrera singing or not, that's up to you. But but honestly, I feel like, not that this was the last movie where this was capable and possible, but I feel like this was, at least there was an era back then where everybody saw a movie, right? And so as a DJ, Bohemian Rhapsody became something that I could immediately start playing again after this movie came out, because this energized the excitement for that song, And nowadays, very rarely, I would say, maybe kind of the Barbie movie brought out, an excitement for the song that came out from that movie, and that's why it charted. But it's not the same, like, oh, I know that everybody's excited about seeing this because they're thinking about this amazing scene from this amazing movie.
Did you say
I realize
charted?
it's not a movie, but people have credited The Sopranos for reviving "Don't Stop Believing," for example. So there are times when a cultural thing like that will revive a song.
Yeah.
Did you say charted or sharded?
That's Charlie.
It sounded like you said
John,
sharded.
Dan.
It might have started.
All right.
Take it how you will, Dan.
Don't say speaking of.
Speaking of sharded.
Oh, man.
Bad timing.
That was terrible timing, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
You said it.
What?
No, Scott said it.
No,
Oh,
Eric
okay.
did first.
I think you dealt it.
You
One
dealt it.
Ring to the moon. One ring.
It's Brittany.
Wasn't Brittany? It was her kid. Okay, give her a break.
I literally
Amanda
said,
makes a good point.
speaking of sharded.
Amanda says,
I
you.
wondered, because we talked about last week that there were a couple of people who had never seen Wayne's World before.
right.
Stacy, Brittany, and Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, while I was watching this, was wondering how this would go down for the first time ever in 2024.
Yeah, some of the cameos, if you don't know who they are, you don't know who they are.
Right.
And I equate this a little bit.
In here, the Laverne and Shirley reference to
That was hilarious.
That was funny.
Terminator 2.
Yeah, that was good.
Have you seen this kid?
But
Meatloaf.
it reminded
Yes, I
me.
recognized him.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit.
Oh,
Ed O'Neill was in it. It
Yeah.
reminded me a little bit of when my son and his friends came to see Chris Kattan when he was performing here on Bainbridge Island. And they were like, he wasn't funny because they didn't know any of the references. He was talking about SNL and Night at the Roxbury.
My problem is I know all the references from SNL, and I still don't think Chris Kattan is funny.
Ooh.
but he's a nice guy.
He might be the greatest guy in the world.
He's
I'm
a
not
super
judging him
nice
as a person.
guy.
He's
But
just
what I'm
not
saying with
funny.
dancing in the
Terrible
Stars.
dancer.
Scott got to pick him up.
I did.
But
On stage.
But I think if you don't, this movie, if you did not know the SNL sketch, which by the way was a throwaway sketch, it was the first time it aired, it was the last sketch of the evening, which is typically the last one to make the show, and they're like, let's just throw it on. And it became a cultural phenomenon on SNL. And this movie was, as Dave said in the comments earlier, this caused them to make a bunch of crap movies.
Boy, did it ever.
Yes.
Including Wayne's World 2.
Yeah.
Just the general shit of the 90s can be probably traced back to this movie or Tank Girl.
But
One of
I'm
those two
curious
films.
from Brittany's perspective.
I'm sorry, Shart.
What was your experience like watching Wayne's World?
I mean, I feel like, I definitely didn't understand many of the references because I have really never watched SNL, and I didn't watch any SNL then. I mean, 92. I won't tell you how old I was because I don't want to make you all feel, any more
Older than
back
we
pain
are.
than you probably already do. But I really enjoyed like Biodome. I don't know if you've watched that one.
Oh my
I love
God.
Biodome, and I feel like I don't know, it was like similar, just like real stupid, goofy humor. So it wasn't horrendous. Like I enjoyed watching it, and I don't know that I'll go out of my way to watch it again. But
It's a series of bits, is what it is.
Mhm.
And Lorne Michaels even mentioned that in the little featurette I watched, where he said they deliberately did it that way so that because they made it in such a short period of time. This way, when they edited the movie, they could just put in or take out almost any individual bit without really much affecting continuity. So it gave them a lot of flexibility in the editing room.
I'm sorry, I still can't get over the fact that she likes Biodome.
I know.
I quote
Who likes
Biodome
Pauly Shore?
all
I don't
the
get it.
all the time. I quote Biodome religiously.
It has this really great duo of comedians. They're called Tenacious D, and they appear for about 30 seconds.
I very much enjoy Biodome.
I will stop. I'm sorry. I honestly thought that the Wikipedia for the director did a very good job of unintentionally dissing her. It said Penelope, is I saying this? Spheres? How do you say your name?
Doesn't matter.
Sounds good.
Okay. Her best-known works include the trilogy titled The Decline of Western Civilization, each covering an aspect of Los Angeles underground culture, and Wayne's World, her highest-grossing movie.
Well, it was the former that got her the latter, because they watched her. I think it was the second of the Decline of Western Civilization, which covered the heavy metal scene. And that's what then thought, oh, she could direct this movie. This is basically a headbanger movie in a sense.
Outside of most of the music not being all that headbangery.
There was more banging than head.
Well, you got Ballroom Blitz. You got your share.
Blitz.
But Mike Myers, the story I remember was he said he wanted it to be Bohemian Rhapsody because when he was a kid growing up in Toronto, he and his brother would literally pull off the side of the road in his Toyota Corolla and they'd bang heads to that. And they're like, that's not a head banging song. And they had all these other songs lined up. And he said, no. It's this. And
he actually threatened to quit over that because Lorne Michaels didn't want to pay the money because it was an expensive song to get the rights for.
Yeah, Lorne Michaels was like, all right. I mean, are you willing to go with her? And he stood his ground.
Bad Out of Hell song?
How about no?
Scotty no. And then in the Bohemian Rhapsody movie, he plays the record executive who says no one's going to be listening to this song.
Exactly.
Which is awesome. That's why they picked him to be in that movie.
Layers.
What's the Scaramouche?
Scaramucci. That's 11 days. That's one Scaramucci equals 11 days.
Yes.
It's a measurement of time.
Apparently behind the scenes, Mike Myers is a big asshole to deal with behind the scenes.
I've heard that about multiple projects he's been on. He has a huge ego.
Mm-hmm.
No, really?
And then they also, originally they wanted to use a Guns N' Roses song, and that's when he threw a fit about putting in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, but he was right.
Yeah.
On the other hand, he didn't want to put in the Terminator section. He didn't think it'd be funny. And turns out people loved it.
Yeah.
I didn't get the reference. Wade had to explain it to me. I've never seen that movie.
I did like.
Oh no, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Usually when they do narration, it's bad writing. That's why they have to do narration. But I think it fit in this movie.
You mean the sort of the breaking of the fourth wall?
Yeah, talking to the screen and saying, "Okay, here I am."
It did work. It did work, and in several places it was some of the funnier bits, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, especially when one of the other band members tried to do it. He goes, "No.
Yeah.
Only Garth and I talk to the screen."
I think it was also a follow-up too.
He didn't really even want Garth. Not in the movie. In the original SNL sketch, it was just Wayne.
Yeah.
But he realized he was the new guy on the cast, and a good way to get it past the table read was to put somebody else in who was much better established, which was Dana.
Yeah.
I think it kind of became a thing. It was a reference to the Ferris Bueller's Day Off and how successful it was then, because there's a childlike quality to Wayne and Garth.
Yeah. Very much.
Yes.
The director referenced that. She said that was what she liked most about the movie, was just that they're joyful people for the most part. They don't get down on things. They just, have fun. That's their credo.
Actually, I actually kind of find Garth to be annoying. I don't really, I like the movie. I like the sketches, but just something about his character. It's a little too, like, I don't know, annoying, over the top, whatever you want to call it.
You know what he said? He's doing an impression of his brother Brad, like verbatim, who's like a nuclear physicist or something. He's like some.
It's the reference to Brad, though, is really his way of talking. That
right.
He
He's
said
soft and pray.
He said that his brother, like, he said when they were kids, his brother would fix everything that broke, and he'd go, "Did you fix the clothes dryer?" I go, "Yeah, I fixed it. It won't break again." That sort of stammering,
almost
Rain
Man-ish
was what he took from his brother.
Well, somebody named Adam Sandler saw him doing that impression and said, "Let's get that guy his own movie," and that's how he got Master of Disguise.
Hey, don't forget about Opportunity Knocks. Nobody ever mentions
Opportunity Knocks.
And yeah, those are probably better than the Love Guru.
That's actually a good question. Which movie is worse, Love Guru or Master of Disguise?
Well, Love Guru was supposed. I mean, that was supposed to be a character he was going to do in Austin Powers 4. I think whole movie out, thus killing Powers 4.
And everyone was like, "Screw you!" And no, he's like, "No, screw you!" And then he made the movie.
Although I think the Pentaveret 5 or whatever it's called on Netflix, I still love that miniseries that he did during the pandemic, where he's like 5 different characters. It's really good. I still.
He's a talented guy who sometimes suffers from his own success, and I don't think enough people say no to him. And I think they let him make projects that maybe he should pull back on.
Mike, no. Then he say, "Mikey, no."
Well, yeah, when you had Lorne Michaels sort of acting as the, I don't think that'll fly. You probably reined in his worst tendencies.
My favorite Lorne Michaels line is, "All right, let's do that again, but this time let's put some jokes in it. Let's make it funny."
Well, just
also said that Lorne Michaels also said that literally. Well, no, it was Dana. No, who said this? I think it was the director actually. Like one of the very last scenes they shot, the last scene with Dana, he literally like walked off the set, got into a limo in makeup, went to the airport, and flew to New York to film Saturday Night Live, because they had to. That's the reason this was 34 days, is they had to squeeze it in before they had other obligations.
Wow.
They did do whatever anniversary show they had a while back. They did do a Wayne's World sketch, but I can't remember what anniversary it was. But they
40th.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That was the big one, 40th. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next big one's next year, the 50th, which is supposed to be Lorne Michaels' final year, and they're going to have what's her name take over? Liz Lemon.
Tina Fey.
Tina Fey.
There you go.
Real life Liz Lemon.
They're going to have Pat take over.
Oh, I'm a very sexual being. Oh.
Well, my favorite Wayne's World scene is still in Wayne's World 2. It's Charlton Heston as the gas station guy.
All right. Well, you can watch that in your own time. Nobody's picking that movie. I hope.
I thought your mother was picking Wayne's World.
Don't tempt
My mom might. My mom does have a movie for tonight, so it's very exciting.
I mean, just the sequel is pretty much a retread of the first one, so.
Different director, though, right? I think she didn't want to come back and do the second one because she had such an unpleasant experience with Mike Myers in the first one.
No, she said, from what I was reading, she said that basically Mike Myers basically put a kibosh on her coming back for the second one.
Oh, wow.
Because they didn't get along, so.
Yeah.
All right, shall we score movie for the 200th episode movie?
No. Okay.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Well,
No.
we start with the guy who picked it,
Yes,
or
I
the
get to
gal.
start this one. It's Wayne's World. I mean, I'm not saying this is a perfect movie, and I'm not saying it's for everybody. That's for sure. But I think it is. Obviously, it is what I think one of the best Saturday Night Live movies to come out. It is an absolute great representation of great comedies from the 90s. So I'm gonna give it a 92.
92.
Yeah, how about that?
All right, Dov.
It's worthy.
Yeah. It's weird. Whenever I see a movie I haven't seen in a long time, like this was definitely over 20 years since I've seen this. How much do I? And it differs greatly from what I remember.
Yeah.
How much do I weigh that? You know, I realized if I have a film I haven't seen in a long time and I like it a lot more than I remember, I definitely give my recent viewing much more weight because, like, yeah, it must have been a grower, you know. So I guess I kind of have to give when it's in the opposite direction, and it's a lot worse than I remember. I have to give the more recent viewing most of the weight on it. There were some really funny scenes. But the problem with it is a couple of things. One is I do enjoy Wayne's World and Saturday Night Live. I thought it was funny in 3 to 5 minute doses. Getting it for an hour and a half, they broke it up enough that it wasn't bad, but it really wasn't that good either. And the best scenes was probably a total of about 20 to 30 minutes, and the rest of it just didn't hang together that well for me. Didn't hate it. Glad I saw it again, but that may be the last time I see it. So it's a not terrible but not that great 79.
79.
Well, you gave UHF a 71, so you know this is at least.
And I did enjoy it more than UHF. I think because even though I have a greater sentimental sort of feel for Weird Al, I mean the guy is a cool guy. Period. This at least has the fond association of SNL, and again, the best parts of this are very good. It's just there aren't enough of them.
All right, go over to Wade and Stacy. Wayne and Stacy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was in college in '92, and there was this kid in my class, one of the hockey players, Penn State hockey players, and he went around on rollerblades all the time. And he found out my name was Wade, and he was always doing Wade's World for me. I had no idea what he was talking about, you know. So I had to go watch the movie.
Yeah.
And I do think the music seemed better the first time. I think Ballroom Blitz seemed a little bit better the first time than this time. It was a little flat. But yeah, it's pretty funny. It's not something you want to watch the whole time or all the time, but once every 40 years, 30 years.
Nah.
So I'll give it, yeah. Well, I feel older than that. So, anyways, yeah, I'll give it an 8.
Wayne was living Wayne's World before Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Yes. So an 80 from Wayne.
Yeah.
Garth.
No.
Stacy. Sorry, Stacy.
Spelled differently because the character spelled hers different. Anyway, it's the first time I've seen it as the movie. I've seen this SNL skits, which always were funny. When Adam said that Garth got on his nerves, I thought, why? He didn't do anything in this movie at all. I was waiting for more. But he was kind of weird. He just weaselly. It was weird. I get that. First of all, you guys said something about it. We're not sure it stood the test of time. Here's me going, when did this come out? 92? What? I seriously thought it was at least 10 years to 15 years newer than that. I just had no clue. I don't know why, because Mike Myers looks nothing like that anymore. But time like this. So I think that was okay but it's in my brain, just Wayne's World. Swing. When they said swing for the first time, I went, oh wow. Always doing that. And that's when I realized, oh yeah, that was 1992, wasn't it?
It's forever ago.
Yeah, it is. So it wasn't horrible. It did not go. It just didn't flow well. Because it was skits with a storyline behind it. So that was kind of bad. I did not recognize Laura Flynn Boyle. At first I went, is that Winona Ryder? I just knew I knew her face. And I was stunned to find out who it was because we used to watch her on that law show she did afterwards. It was weird. I am going to give it a 75.
75.
And I will say one thing I didn't mention is I do think they did a good job of casting Rob Lowe and Tina Carrere. I think they certainly fit the roles extremely well.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Shocked? What say you?
I get the unfortunate bearer of news that I know I was conceived after my parents saw this movie.
You timed it out, didn't you?
Did they tell you that out loud?
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're so sweet.
And they didn't name you Wayne.
His middle name is Wayne Garth.
Scott Wayne Garth Breitbarth.
That actually sounds
it's
like
really Wayne Garth is his last name.
Explains a lot, doesn't it? Not the hair loss, but
romantic scene in this was quite enticing.
Camera one, camera two, camera one, camera
Myers
two.
loves strutting his tidy whities, doesn't he?
Oh.
Wow.
What just happened? Obviously, comedy runs the risk of aging badly. I think there's a lot that still holds up in this movie. I still remember the product placement scene. My dad just dying watching that. Especially in today's era where you can watch a YouTube video with getting an unskippable ad. Like, oh my gosh, I really felt that. And it was good to see Chris Farley's first role, so good for him. I thought it was
He gave away a lot of information for a security guy, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's going to go here, and he's going to go here, and he's going to go to Detroit. And they went, he adjusted it. It was wonderful.
It was awesome. And I didn't get the Terminator joke the first time I saw this because I was like 10. I didn't see Terminator yet. So that was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's better than Ghostbusters 2.
All right, sir.
I will pocket this as 79.
79.
I liked it. It was better than Cats. I'm going to see it again and again.
Speaking of Cats,
says Dave.
This is the closest product placement I have. Here you go.
You guys are a bunch of sellouts.
That's all I got.
Right.
Right, Abraham Lincoln.
Again, it's my first time seeing it. It wasn't, my favorite, but I did get a chuckle out of some of it. I think I actually cracked up a ton at the beginning with like the Bohemian Rhapsody part. Like I don't know why that got me. Now I feel like I want some Pure Leaf and Doritos and Mountain Dew and battery acid. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was. I didn't mind the different skits with the plot behind it, but again, I haven't seen enough of it to know, and I've seen other movies that have kind of run similarly to that, and I think for what it was, it worked. I'll say 80.
80.
You could just roll the D20 behind you.
I could.
All right,
that would be a pretty low score.
Yeah, it would.
Let's go to our unidentified caller.
Witness protection.
Hold on, I got to take a sip of my soda.
We can't see what it is. Oh, there it is.
Do 0. Oh man.
Yeah, I was a teenager when this came out. This was peak SNL for me. Having said that, it ages well in some parts and others it doesn't, like everyone else has kind of said. It's still a fun movie. I think I said it last week. I think this is probably, out of all the SNL movies that were made out of sketches, I think this is probably the best one to me. I don't know about anybody else, but I think it's probably the best one because from almost all the rest of them are complete shit.
The Blues Brothers was pretty good.
Yeah, but that
SNL skit.
Yeah,
the Blues Brothers was they did it on SNL, but that isn't where it originated.
Yeah, but I really like Mike Myers in this. I think he's hilarious. Like I said, Dana Carvey. I don't know. Just something about Garth. I just don't really like. I don't know why.
It's okay to represent on movies, Adam. Don't worry.
I kind of think it's the voice. Like, it just grinds my gears the way he talks. But other than that, I mean, I think it's, like I said, I think it's short enough too. I mean, yeah, it could have probably trimmed off maybe 10, 15 more minutes. Could have maybe been like an 80-minute movie and it'd work just as well. But I'm gonna go probably about where the audience was and go with like an 85.
85.
Yeah, it didn't overstay its welcome. I do give it credit for that.
Yeah.
Did you ever find Bugs Bunny attractive when he dresses up like a bunny?
No.
All right, so my thought, it got darker in here. The lighting got messed up. I, like Eric said, this was a definite good memory movie. I remember 92 very well. It's, when comedy career started. It's the good old days, just didn't realize it at the time. And this movie brought back some memories, and I probably saw this 5 years ago. I think maybe I showed Josh this movie. And I will not wait 5 more years. I'll watch it again. I probably will watch the sequel just because why not? And I'm going to agree with Eric. I'm giving it the exact same score because it's from 1992. I'm giving it a 92.
Whoa.
Good thing they didn't wait 8 years.
I know.
Excellent.
Amanda says that okay movie. The main characters were just not very interesting to me. And while I did enjoy some jokes, the Alice Cooper chat, which was hysterical, Cantonese discussion, a lot of it fell flat or was boring. 65. I don't have a score from my mother yet, but I do have her movie for next week.
I mean, Mike Myers was great on Saturday Night Live. When he came on there, he was a breath of fresh air. He really was. His humor was very different than the other people on the show, which was really fun.
Yeah, the Blues Brothers started as the opening act of Steve Martin's banjo act, and then when he hosted on SNL, they came on SNL. So Dave is right. I googled it because I was like, "What? Dave's wrong." Nope, Dave's right.
I really wanted him to do a Sprockets movie. Really,
he was working on one. He almost
I know.
did.
He had to do Cat in the Hat first, and then that killed him.
That was that's my favorite Mike Myers sketch on SNL is Sprockets.
My favorite Mike Myers was Lothar of the Hill People. I loved Lothar.
Lothar was funny. Scottish as crap was good, but I think Eric and I will agree. Theatre Stories with Kenneth Rhys Evans was one of the funniest ever.
Not Simon. My name is Simon, and I like to do drawings.
When he had Danny DeVito on, you looking at my ass?
Oh, well, that your mother gave it a 77.
Yeah, she's been watching SNL from the beginning. I have two actually. My sister would watch it on Channel 53 because it wasn't on, Dave, you remember this? It wasn't on NBC because of Killer Theater.
We did. Our trouble was we lived in a valley, and 53 did not come in very well.
Oh, I think I had to hold the antenna. That's why I got to watch it.
Depending whether the tenor rotor was working well or not, we could get 53.
I will say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you.
I will say it's. I know it probably won't be everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's an underrated SNL movie. Is Stewart Saves His Family.
That has gotten surprisingly good reviews. It made no money. Yeah. Nobody went.
I know,
to see
but
it. Yeah.
he's really good in it, and I think Vincent D'Onofrio's in it, a young Vincent D'Onofrio, and a few other famous people are in it. But it's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
it's good enough. It's smart enough. Doggone it, nobody liked it.
Yeah,
I mean it's a million times better than It's Pat.
Oh man, anything's better than It's Pat. That was one that didn't even really work much on SNL. It worked for maybe one time, and they did it 20 times.
Did I tell you the story that I found out about that? I think I've told this story. I'll tell it again. When I was selling cars in LA, I was taking these two women on a test drive, and they said, "Oh, where are you from?" And I said, "I moved out here to do comedy." They go, "Oh, do you know Julia Sweeney?" I go, "I don't know her, but I know who that is." Well, she used to work in my husband's office. And there was a woman there, and that Pat character is based on this woman, and it was so offensive because this woman, she had a condition, and she shouldn't have made fun of her like that. And I'm like, oh my god, that's horrible. But it's great to know Pat's a woman. Now I know.
Yeah. Also in Wayne's World, the giving him the gun rack. was actually something that happened with Mike Myers and his ex-girlfriend. Although she gave it more as an ironic thing, and thinking it would a joke that he would appreciate, and he really didn't. And when she saw this movie, she was mortified that she was basically the crazy lady. And he actually called her at some point to apologize for how she was portrayed in it. But I also one small thing I really loved was I did like the Scooby-Doo ending.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
I
fun.
liked multiple endings. That was fun.
I wanted
The Mega Happy ending wasn't that great, but the Scooby-Doo ending was a lot of fun.
I wanted more Ed O'Neill. He was in it for what, 5 seconds?
Yeah, not much.
Yeah.
He was
And
so
that was
young.
That was 3 years into Married with Children. I mean, he was
I know,
already
but
established.
I figured he was going to be in the movie more, and I'm like, nope. He's in what, the very first, at the beginning of the movie, and that's it. I think.
No, he's in it more.
He's in it a little more.
When Gardner's stabbing the donut guy, he was giving a lot of commentary there.
When they're all deciding to get back to help Wayne get his show back, he's there.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Adam, when you were watching this, did you think at all that, when I was doing my little cable access show in New Orleans, that someday Rob Lowe would come take over the show and bring it to national?
It's funny you say that, because when I watched this, I was like, I kind of felt like a celebrity a little bit, because I'm like, hey, I've been on cable access before.
You related well to this movie.
My show was way stupider and had less preparation than their show.
And it was so funny because his show was literally like sandwiched in between like the most mundane like programming I can't remember what it was, but it was just.
Oh, my show?
Yes, your show was.
Oh, yeah.
It was like.
But what was great, it was on 6:30 on Channel 8. And so people would be flipping the dial, and they'd go from, the news or whatever, and they'd go to just my face as they're flipping through for half an hour. And they re-aired it like 17 times a week.
Yeah, that's how Mystery Science Theater started too. Is they had the little station in Minnesota that they already had the rights to show movies, so it basically cost them nothing. And Joel Hodgson pitched this, and they said, "Sure, you go ahead and use the studio. We don't care.
Wow.
It fills airtime."
Yeah, the only show. Yeah, I remember when you first did the show, it was just you, and then you sometimes had people come in, and then I don't remember much about. I can't remember much about after what happened later on and stuff like that. But I just remember, I think at first it was just you taking calls, and then you started to get people like regular callers, and so you had people come in and hang out and stuff like that.
Yep, there was I can't remember. There was 2 girls, and the one girl's brother would come in, and you came in. My friend Bert came in a few times, and I think Tom was the guy who was the director. I think that was his name.
I'd have to take the city bus to get to wherever it was taping and get there, and yeah.
Fun times.
So
Anyway, enough about that. We have a movie coming up for next week.
Do we? Well, I guess
and my mom mentioned this movie, and I thought, of course, like I always do, I'm like, we already watched that. We talked about that. And I went through the list, like, oh my God, we never talked about that. We never did the movie, but I think we did talk about it because I think it was one of those, what else are you watching?
Mm-hmm.
And it's on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Eric?
That or Netflix. I can't remember which.
Uh-oh. Well, let me check first.
Well, I've got rid of Netflix. So hopefully it's on
Sure,
Amazon.
keep us in suspense. It's totally fine.
Oh, it was Netflix.
It currently is streaming on Netflix.
And it's a Ryan Reynolds movie.
Oh, no.
And it's called
The Notebook.
The Adam Project.
What?
Yes, I remember that one.
Now, we did talk about it, right?
We did talk about it in the context of time travel-ish
What?
type things,
Yeah.
or whatever it was. Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh no. That's not the reaction you're
The
supposed
thing
to.
is, if it's the Adam Project, his beard should be longer.
I know.
Pretty
My
sure.
mom was
Let me
like,
look
there's
real
no way
quick.
Adam can absolutely hate this movie.
I love movies that are 10 years
There's
in
bonus
development.
points just for
hell.
having the name Adam in it, right, Adam?
I mean,
This-
I like Ryan Reynolds.
This movie was initially supposed to have Tom Cruise, I think.
The
10 years. 2012 or something.
The kid in this movie, his name is Walker Scobell.
Texas
Um,
Ranger.
That's it.
Something. He is from up here where he's from like 15 minutes from my house, 20 minutes from my house.
Oh no way.
Yeah. So that like made huge news up here when they were filming that it was like this really crazy thing that he got to go be in a movie with like all these like big name stars.
Well, the guy who played Mr. Big in Wayne's World from Pittsburgh. So
Right.
Totally unrelated, but did anybody up there get really bad weather last week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
when
we
I
did.
was there, they had horrible weather.
Yeah.
Oh, did they? Okay. Yeah,
Oh.
I was.
Oh yeah.
I saw there was tornadoes up there and just bad
Oh, we did
rain.
have a couple watches, yeah.
Yeah, we
my
had
first-
watched. We didn't get any of that.
The first morning I was there, I was supposed to. Eric was going to pick me up at 7 to go do radio, and the fire alarm went off, and they evacuated the whole hotel
Oh, geez.
at 6. So I'm like, I texted Eric once. If you're up, I'll come get you.
Ready.
And then the last night I was there, the power went out. Power. Look at me. I'm
Power
a
went
for
out.
3 days. I'm saying power. The power went out. And I thought, then I get my bill and it said 0. I'm like, wow, they comped my room. But they didn't. It was just, I think they had a glitch because the power was out, because it
Oh,
then
geez.
showed my credit card 2 days later. But yeah, it was loud thunder and
Yep.
lightning.
thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening.
Yeah.
Galileo.
On
Have you
Sunday,
seen-
we had gone up to Duquesne, and it was, you could see lightning everywhere. We were lucky. It just was beautiful to watch it from the hill up on Duquesne. Up at
Oh,
Duquesne.
I went with Eric to Cranberry. and
Yeah,
we saw some.
Yeah.
it was
think I-
probably actually
Awesome.
there. So yeah, it looked pretty amazing.
Now. Well, we should probably spin to find out who gets to announce their movie next week. If you want to do that, do you want to do that?
For number 202. Next week will be 201. This movie will be for week 202.
That's right.
Will that be a double feature week?
That you make a very good point. I think you are correct about this. Hold on, let's check the spreadsheet.
Or do we get rid of double features?
Absolutely. This would be a double feature spin.
Mm.
How about, so I guess we put your mother back on this wheel.
No, I think whoever's on the week before should not be on the double feature week.
All right. We'll
we
leave
don't
her
want
off
people
this
doing
week.
3
We'll bring
movies
her
in a
back
row.
next week.
Right.
All right. So this is for a double feature, which you'll announce next week, which will be for the following week. Is everybody following along? We're all good. All right. Let's shuffle this. And Brittany, I put your name on here. And of course, obviously, if you can't be here, then you know.
Yeah, I was just pulling up my schedule to look. I think I'm not here next Monday would be the 29th, so I'm not there. The next time I come back is May 20th.
Is Amanda on the wheel, she asks?
She is now.
Ah, yes, you are, Amanda. You want to be. Well, I guess that's the important question.
That's a very good point, obviously.
So Brittany will not be here.
I'll if I'm not out doing something, I'll try to be like watching, but I won't be back until the 20th.
We loved having you back.
And I'll take
It's
you off.
been nice to be back for a couple weeks.
And I'll give this another spin, another shuffle, and now I'll give it a spin. We'll see who gets to pick our double feature.
We can pick a
Double
May
feature.
theme to double feature.
What?
Mayday.
Damn.
Oh, what? Look at that.
I called this rigged. You did this
I
in
did
the
the last
200th
double
episode.
feature.
It's all right. It's been a few weeks.
Is that
Superman
right?
3, Superman 4.
Oh, I did do this wrong, didn't I?
What do you mean?
That's all right. I
Did
think
we
it's
finish-
fine. It's fine.
We
We're just
finished
gonna
them, didn't we?
Huh?
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, my camera. The camera just died.
Oh no!
Wow.
I love the brief black and white thing there. That
I
was
know,
cute.
that was weird. Hold on, let me
Your
see if I can
computer
get it to
doesn't
come
want you to
back
do a
on.
double
Guys,
feature.
I did this wrong. Dan should not have been on the wheel.
All right. Spin it again.
All right, hold on. Let me check the wheel.
Oh, I'm back.
He's frozen in time now.
Because Dan, this is
Can we put a finger in that mouth or
Dan's
something?
the carbonite. Yeah.
Dan has done a double feature recently. Wade did a double feature this season. Who else? Adam has done a double feature, and that's it. So those people belong not on the wheel.
I think my mom did a double feature too, so she's not on there anyway.
It's so weird to hear him talking and not see his mouth moving.
I can see myself now.
As the rest of us, you're frozen.
Am I really?
Yeah.
You look like Trump falling asleep in the courtroom.
Yeah, you're definitely frozen.
Oh.
All right. So now, if I am correct,
Whoa.
sorry about that.
I was going to pick Wayne's World 2 and Superman 3.
Man. All right, so here we go. Let's try this again. Now, properly, a double feature wheel that I was totally prepared for, but not prepared for.
It's
And that's going to go to
Oh no! Oh.
You're right, Scott. It was rigged.
So Wayne's World 2 and
Superman 3.
All right, you've got a week to figure out a double feature.
Oh
some
boy.
some
Let us
shitty
know
French,
next week.
some shitty French movie and a musical.
You guys are gonna regret.
There we go.
Wow.
Some shitty French movie. I
French
thought you
musical.
liked that movie.
I hate French. Dude, I ain't gonna lie. I know this is gonna sound really mean when I say I hate French movies. Period. End of story. I do.
Fall?
Oh, I see.
They're
I
all-
am in black and white.
Anyways, they're
I'll
so
be right back.
they're pretentious.
Oh.
Anyway,
What'd you think of Ratatouille?
Did that work?
No, Dan, you are still a black square.
you're blacker than me, man.
That's so weird. I can see myself moving.
We
I'm
can
waving
hear you.
right now.
We can hear you. We just can't see you.
And then I deleted myself, and you can't see this, so it doesn't matter that I'm holding up to my camera, I guess.
No, and it doesn't matter what you do at this point.
All right, I'm gonna literally just log off and come back.
Okay, you go do
If
that.
that works.
We'll start talking about what else we've been watching. I've been watching nothing. I haven't watched anything besides Wayne's World.
What? Not Taylor Swift videos?
No, well, I have watched the latest Taylor Swift video. Yes.
Yeah, we saw your eyes move.
Your skin got its color back.
It was a nice try.
I liked Blue Dan better, honestly.
Blue.
I'm a soul man.
I've been watching. I remember when this came out and it intrigued me, but the reviews were sort of mixed on it, and I never got around to it. And then I realized that we only have our max subscription for another 2 months or so before the promo offer expires, and I'm definitely not renewing. So I've started watching Our Flag Means Death.
Oh,
And
yes.
5 episodes in, it's surprisingly good. It took like a couple episodes to sort of grow, but after that, it's been very good. I'm impressed.
I only watched the first 2 episodes, and it did not grab hold of me after.
And I was going to say the first 2 made me enough interested to watch the third, but it gets better after that, in my opinion.
I've been
So
watching.
What I need somebody to do is somebody who has a subscription to Hulu. I'm very interested to hear somebody who has watched. There's a movie called The Greatest Hits that's on Hulu. That's a time travel movie based on whenever a woman hears a certain song, she gets transported back in time.
Oh my god, I love that movie. I have to watch it.
Interesting.
I was gonna say, have you seen this movie?
No, I have Hulu though.
It's called the Dan Project.
Dan written all over it.
I used to do a joke about I forgot what station it was in Pittsburgh. I think it was called The Point, and they did the greatest hits of the 60s and 70s. And I'm like, what is that? Like Rue McClanahan? Like who are the greatest hits of in their 70s? Because I thought it was saying the greatest hits instead of the greatest hits. Because you put them together, it's offensive.
Pittsburgh.
Can you explain it some more?
So what I'm saying is, I actually have this happen when I used to drive every day, like down to where Adam lives now. Like I was in Puyallup and Graham and Tacoma, 5 days a week. On my drive home, I'd listen to Sirius XM, or I would go on to Amazon and just say, play, songs from 1992. And it literally I would mentally go back in time.
Well, that's like, so she gets transported back in time whenever she hears this is not what she. This would be this would be an ad, but she is transported back in time.
The Honda, look at that. She's back to the 1982 Honda.
Let's see how.
And yet
another ad.
That wasn't it.
No, but there you go. So music related.
Not this is a plus or a minus, but I've never heard of anyone in this movie.
It's only got a 50 on Rotten Tomatoes, so there you go.
They've been promoting it like crazy.
I'll watch it and report back to you.
All right, there we go.
It's got a 50 on Rotten Tomatoes, and one of the reviewers calls the film an often insufferably cutesy romance. So I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
Music,
Dan-
romance, I'm out.
Dan, what you were saying about putting music in from 1992 and just going back in time in your brain. If we're driving around Chippewa or just around town doing stuff, he's got 80s music on. I'm like, you have to turn this off because we are not there. It's creepy. I'm this old lady. It's not happening.
It happens to, I mean, I could pull up a song and I could tell you, like, my brain goes right back to,
Yes.
you know, either who I was dating or who I was hanging out with, what job I had. Like, instantly I can get back. Meanwhile, as you knew, I can't remember my set. I mean, this was my set list from the other night. I mean, I have to, I need that.
Mm-hmm.
But I can remember details from 30 years ago, no problem.
I annoyed a couple of people at work because we had a problem come up in a system we use at work that keeps coming up over and over and over again. They just can't seem to get a system in place that won't have it happen every couple of weeks. So I said, oh, this happened again. And I just posted after it saying, this is the song that doesn't end, ... And a couple people were like, oh, great. Thanks for getting that stuck in my head now.
I thought you were going to say you guys listened to a song from 20 years ago when the program was first written and you solved the problem. You mentally went back.
It's a movie where every time she sees a coin, she goes back to the time when that coin was.
Oh, great concept.
Oh, Adam.
I literally,
so tempted
when
to
I
burn you
write
today.
When I write, I have like 30 songs that fit for Dan's It's a Lot now that are perfect. You know, they're Debbie Gibson, they're Rick Springfield, they're Donnie Iris, they're stuff from that era that I put that on when I'm writing, and it's like, boom, I can get right in. It's amazing what music can do for you.
Yeah.
Put some Culture Club on.
Dan instantly gets transported back in time.
Speaking of something totally different, so we.
No, go ahead, sorry.
I get lost.
Wow.
In your eyes.
Wow.
And I feel my
I
spirits
get
rise.
lost.
I almost played that on the piano at the show, but I didn't want to play Augie's piano. We watched The Gentleman on Netflix. Very good. It's a Guy Ritchie series.
I want to watch the movie first, but so I haven't started this series yet.
Wait, there's a movie?
Yeah.
Of The Gentleman?
If I'm thinking of what you're thinking of.
Are you thinking of Ripley?
No.
Because Ripley is based on The Talented Mr. Ripley. We're watching that now. It's in black and white. I'm like, oh, they overexposed
Yeah,
it. Wonderful.
it's a 2019 Matthew McConaughey movie that formed the basis for the TV show.
Oh,
we
boy.
had no idea.
You've changed Dan's life.
There it is. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Colin Farrell, Matthew McConaughey. All right. All right. I had no idea. I thought it was based loosely on Breaking Bad. I made a Breaking Bad reference when I was doing that dope show the other night, and I said, people laughed. I said, "Oh, you guys meth heads too?" And I said, "So if 420 is like pot day, what's meth day?" Somebody goes, "August 5th." I'm like, Cinco de Augusto. I go, unless you're a fan of Arrested Development, then it's Cuatro de Cinco.
Oh man.
The new Conan O'Brien show on Max is good.
I want to watch that. I haven't started
It's
it
good.
yet.
It's
travel
good.
There's only 4 episodes so far, right?
Yeah, it's a travel show. It's pretty much like Conan without borders, except it's longer, I guess. So
Yeah, this was supposed to come out sooner. This was put on hold by the strikes, but yeah, it's finally out.
the 4th episode, he goes to Ireland.
Ooh.
Yeah, the first one's Finland, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, my mom is watching A Gentleman in Moscow. It's on Paramount.
The previews that are intriguing.
Yeah,
I can't believe it's a movie already.
So many people recommended the
Series,
book
I
to
think,
me.
right?
Yeah.
And I mean, and really, that's how this whole thing started. You know, this whole show that we're doing right now. It started because my wife was doing book clubs during the Zoom book club, and I'm like, why don't we do a movie club where it's movies based on books, so we don't have to read the book, we just watch the movie and we talk about it each week.
Mhm.
That was the initial concept of where we are right now.
And it explains why we started with UHF.
Obviously based on the best-selling book.
Well, just the idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I picked my 2 movies.
You want to tell us now, or do you want to wait till next week?
I'll save it.
Save
All right.
it?
Save it.
But we have
All
this
right.
way we have the extra time to watch them.
But the
Oh,
it's
we'll
up
wait
to
till next
you.
week.
We can't force you to say or not say, but
Yeah, it's up to you.
You can give us clues, tease us for next week.
Adam will hate them. Adam will hate them.
Will Adam hate them? That's the question. Oh, let's
Adam
go
always
around
hates
and
them.
vote.
they're 2 French romantic comedies, but they're musicals. You'll like them.
Let's go around the horn. All
Moulin
right.
Rouge.
All right. I say Adam will like one and hate one. Eric, what do you say?
Adam's gonna love
Too
them.
late. Dave, what do you say?
I have no idea.
Okay, good answer. You two?
I think he's not going to like either one.
Me too.
All right. Brittany,
I
what
think-
say you?
He will be pleasantly surprised by one, but he will anticipate hating them both.
Adam, you going to hate them both?
Yes.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Done.
And that's been Around the Horn, a new feature
Yeah.
that I just made up.
That's funny. So I was really tempted to just say, fuck you, Adam, and go for it.
Have you confirmed that
watch
they're
your mouth.
streaming
You're trying
somewhere?
to be clean from episode 201 forward. 200 forward.
Scott, have you vetted them to confirm that they're streaming somewhere?
Yes.
Okay.
So initially, I was going to do 2 movies that were 100 years apart, that were ironically very similar. It was going to be Metropolis and
Ooh.
Poor Things.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, I think Poor Things would be
just to
a
pick
tough
the German movie and say it wasn't French.
So
But-
it'll be our first softcore porn of the EriDan Film Festival.
Hey, Poor Things wasn't that bad. It's just Emma Stone should have kept her clothes on. So,
How are you going to win an Oscar, Adam?
well,
Come on.
I'm not going to get blue here, but let's just say she should have just kept her clothes on.
Wow.
See,
I
what
think
was
you can
worse?
say that about pretty much anyone here, but
Go ahead,
nonetheless.
Scott.
Then
Oh.
my round 2 was going to be, okay, I'll just go with movies that everyone likes, Disney movies, and I'll still stick it to Adam. So I was going to do Mary Poppins and Ratatouille. So you have the French movie and you have the musical.
I love both of those.
Yeah, those are
I-
great.
I like them too. But I digress. I want to make sure this is not about Adam. So I've chosen 2 movies that cannot be incredibly far apart, but are definitely Oscar darlings in their own generation. I'm going to go for a movie that I've been wanting to watch for a very long time, which is Amadeus.
Okay.
Never
Tim
seen
Holtz again.
Yep.
Okay.
And then for my second movie, I don't know if we've done it, but
I guess you're telling us.
Fury Road.
Who?
Oh, Mad Max Fury Road.
Have we done that?
No.
No.
We haven't done any of the Mad Max movies, so
I don't think I've seen that one.
Amadeus.
There.
So,
I've never seen that. I've been wanting to
Scott.
watch that for decades.
Yeah.
Scott, I've actually seen Amadeus, and I like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you
I
like
saw-
Mad Max?
Tom Hulse. It's got F. Murray Abraham.
Yeah.
yep.
It's basically about them being rivals. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's perfect for us, isn't it? It's great.
why do you want to F. Murray Abraham? What did he do to you?
Actually, he's gotten in a little trouble recently.
Do you like Fury Road, man? Mad Max Fury Road.
I've never seen it.
Oh,
Ooh.
It's probably better in retrospective. At the time it came out, it got what in the same way that the Ghostbusters revival did. It got way too much publicity about, oh, it's a women's version of Mad Max. What a terrible idea. If you ignore that, it's actually a pretty decent movie. I don't think it holds up to Mad Max 2, but it's good.
All I know about Fury, I know Fury Road is Tom Hardy's in it, and Charlize Theron's in it, and then the one that's coming out now is going to be a prequel to that or something like that. That's all I know.
If you miss practical stunts and effects in movies, I mean, giant desert storms aside, it's a great ode to those 80s movies. And it's the same director.
You mean like the irony of Ryan Gosling doing a movie about a stuntman called The Fall Guy, and basically everything in it is CGI'd?
Right?
I'm not gonna lie. They had a trailer for that when I went and saw Ghostbusters again for the second time. That movie looks stupid. I'm gonna say it straight up. It looks dumb.
I've done my best to avoid that movie. It looks awful. Yeah.
I think actually the trailer made me want to see it, but I just find that you can tell that it's so CGI'd, which is ironic for being a movie about a stunt guy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I felt like I had to tell you guys early because both these movies are long. Amadeus is. I would prefer the director's version if you want. It has an Emma Stone acting performance in it. At least Adam's definition of an Emma Stone acting performance.
She keeps her clothes on.
Not in the director's cut.
Oh.
That's not the reason why I'm suggesting it's just a better cut. And then Mad Max, I think, is like 2.5. Oops. So you get the adrenaline of drama and the adrenaline of, well, Mad Max. So hope y'all enjoy. Cool.
So Mad Max is on Apple TV Plus, and Amadeus is on Netflix. If you want to know where to find those.
And if you don't, talk to Eric. He can tell you a little method that might help you.
No, that doesn't work. No.
No, of course not. No, there's no other ways to find these.
Library, huh? Yeah, we have that at the library.
Do not confuse this with Dr. Zaius musical.
Yeah, it says that the theatrical version is 161 minutes, and it says the R-rated version is 181 minutes.
3 hours. Woof.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oofa.
Mad Max also streaming on Max, conveniently enough.
Oh.
It'll make you mad.
Right.
Are you mad, Max? Come on,
Max, gonna be mad. Come on, say.
Did you go back to that screen, Eric, real quick?
Yeah, it's about an angry Borscht Belt comic. Come on, Max, what are you doing?
If you look at, so it's got Hulu with Max, so that's a bundle, right? And now Disney Plus comes with Hulu.
Yep.
Everything's going to be merging.
Well, yeah. Well, we knew that there's going to be a contraction in the streaming services. Just way too many.
There'll be Max. Yeah. Well, now there's MGM Plus and there's Amazon Prime, and I think Amazon Prime is going to go away and it's going to become MGM Plus because Amazon owns MGM.
Well, it's weird because I just have Max, but now with Max you can watch Discovery shows on Max, and you can watch, like right now I got the basketball game on. You can watch TNT Sports,
TNT, TBS,
yeah,
and Motor Trend. That's why we didn't get our show. That
Motor Trend, for some reason, though, like the Hulu stuff's not on Max, but then when you go on Hulu, when you go on Hulu, it says you can watch movies that are on Max, but you have to. It's all confusing.
We didn't talk about the cars in Wayne's World.
Man,
the AMC Pacer.
Yeah.
Oh. The Garthmobile was awesome.
The Mirthmobile.
I mean, Mirthmobile. Mirth? Mirth.
Mirth.
Yeah. Why was it called the Mirthmobile?
Because they're happy.
So it was Garth's car, wasn't
it? And Fury Road's only a 2-hour movie. It's 120 minutes.
Unless you watch the director's cut with the nude Emma Stone scene.
I don't think you're a director's cut.
Can we get a T-shirt with that? This better have a nude Emma Stone scene. Just my face, like
they just start putting it in every movie, you know. So you'll have.
And that's how you get an easy A.
No, we have to have that phrase. Oh, never mind. What's he doing? No, so we have to have that. We have to have that T-shirt with that phrase on it and that face from when Dan was frozen on screen. Have that face.
It would match the color of the car. I'm just saying.
See, this is the great thing
Yeah,
about
that-
Dan is that he's always going to have great thumbnails when he has his YouTube channel.
The idea of a sky blue AMC Pacer with flames on the side is what's great.
You know what bothered me is my first thing was the hubcaps in the front don't match the wheels in the back. Like that was my big gripe. Like how can they not match?
Well, but Rob Lowe drove a nice car.
Hot Wheels, beat that!
Wow, a stretch Pacer.
Well, that wasn't that from the second movie?
That was from this one. That
No,
was in the first one.
I think it was
I
the
think
one.
that's one too. Yeah.
Oh, that was the Thelma and Louise ending.
See, Mirth Limo.
Huh.
I never saw a Mirth limo.
Yeah, it was in there. We watched it. We were laughing about it
Where?
at the end.
Did you watch 2? You watched 2.
We watched 1.
I thought that was in 2.
Yeah, I didn't see it in 1.
Yeah, that's in 2.
They might have. I think they might have had an ad for 2 at the beginning.
Oh, that could
okay.
be.
I think. Did you fall aslep and then you woke up and 2
No,
was on?
I didn't.
Yeah, it auto played 2, and they didn't realize it was a different movie.
It switched. Well, they said this was pretty much the same movie.
Has anyone watched the new Fallout show yet?
I have. It's actually pretty good.
Is it? I've never played the games. You have to play the games to understand the show.
No, you don't.
Okay.
People said it worked.
They actually just changed a couple things from the show that's in the games.
Oh, okay. Because I've never played the games, but
And it's directed by Christopher Nolan's brother, which is hilarious. Both of those guys doing shows and movies.
Is his name Colin? Colin Nolan?
It's Jonathan.
Swollen.
Swollen Nolan.
Is Colin Nolan swollen?
Colin Nolan swollen.
I like
Joke
that.
with Nolan.
I like that hockey jersey.
Thank you. I like it.
Did you do it for free Chipotle today?
No, I was shooting my friend Daniel, who's a real estate agent. I was like, you know what? He likes the Mariners. I'm just gonna dress up in all my Seattle merch. He appreciated that.
This was Chipotle's NHL day, where if you go after 3:00 in an NHL jersey, it's buy one get one free entrees.
Wow, Scott, let's go.
Yes, let's set fire to my colon.
It's not too late.
It's 3 p.m. somewhere.
And they're very lax with what constitutes a jersey. Just wear an NHL T-shirt and you're fine.
Some guy like I couldn't afford the $100 jersey, but I got.
Did you see the player?
To get my free $10 burrito.
Did you see the player from the? I think it's from the Houston Rockets, who at the Clippers game, if a player misses 2 free throws in a row,
yes.
everybody gets free chicken. And he purposely missed them. And he's like,
the game was already pretty much out of reach. So he was like, "You want free chicken?"
Yeah.
Which was an awesome move. That was an absolutely awesome move.
It was,
say that again.
And then their owner, Steve Ballmer, who's from here, who owns the Clippers, they're leaving what used to be Staples Center. They're building their own arena for next season. And the last game, I guess, he made all concessions free or something.
Oh,
wow!
For everybody.
He's got Microsoft money.
Oh, he's stupid rich.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a quick list of the 5 worst SNL movies, and it's Ladies Man, Night at the Roxbury, Blues Brothers 2000.
Yeah.
Great
soundtrack.
Pat. It's Pat. And this one I disagree with, because I actually like this one, Coneheads. I actually liked Coneheads.
The trouble with Coneheads is it came out too long after Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin and all. They waited for 15 years or something like that to make the movie.
Yeah,
You
no,
imagine
but I
making
still thought it was
Wayne's
pretty
World
funny.
in 2018.
I'm surprised Ghostbusters
2008.
2016 isn't on that list.
Ghostbusters isn't from SNL.
Ghostbusters, it isn't?
No.
Has nothing to do with SNL.
You know what is from an SNL? This is, I don't know if anybody actually remembers this, but Office Space is based on an SNL kind of mini.
Oh, it's based on the Milton shorts from Mike Judge, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a quasi SNL movie, kind of, sort of.
I'm surprised. I thought Ghostbusters was SNL this whole time. That's funny.
No,
but I do agree.
It was,
you had 2
Harold
SNL
Ramis
characters, 2 SNL actors.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
Oh,
Dan
they had
Aykroyd
to
and John
originate
Belushi.
in a. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was supposed to be Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi, and when Belushi died, then Murray was cast in that role.
I will say, Night at the Roxbury is awful. I hate that.
It
movie.
is awful.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I think Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan hate that movie too, Adam.
I hated the sketch too.
It was a payday.
I
It was just a payday.
The sketch was funny twice when Jim Carrey was in it and when Tom Hanks was in it.
What about when
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone did it?
The Jim
No,
Carrey
it's
one
fine.
was good. Yeah.
Jim Carrey was one.
That was one of the problems with SNL. They don't do it as badly these days, but there was a period of time where when a sketch was a hit, they would just beat it into the ground. And every other week they were doing the same stinking sketch. You know, Debbie Downer was fun. The 7th time you saw Debbie Downer, you were so sick of it.
Oh my God. What about like the whole year when Pepsi did a Night at the Roxbury commercial at the Super Bowl and you had to freaking sit through that commercial for like the next 6 months? Everyone drinking a Pepsi and going, was so annoying. Even Chris Kattan was in that commercial. He's like, stop it. I hated that commercial so much.
That's
I was
funny.
like, white people, why you gotta white? No, please.
Yeah, I didn't even know until just now. I was looking. I didn't even know they made a MacGruber movie. I didn't even know.
yeah.
they made
Yeah, that was fairly
Oh,
recent.
yeah.
Yeah.
The MacGruber Peacock series is amazing. People should definitely watch that. It has a Goldfinger. It has a
That was-
Goldfinger style opening with him as the model, including his hairy ass.
That was with the whole drama around the Acme movie being basically, you know, canned by Warner to just as a tax write-off. The main thing that makes me bummed about that is Will Forte, who I really love, was in lead in that, and that could have been really good.
Yeah. It's almost like Hollywood's owned by a bunch of private equity.
It's almost
firms.
all. It's like the accountants were in charge or something.
They're like, what don't we like? Oh,
Yeah, it's so stupid.
no one likes Batgirl, and no one likes Wile E. Coyote. Okay.
Yeah.
Oddly specific. Maybe you should have written off some of the extra
the-
Zack Snyder movies.
The crossover was doomed.
It was.
Yeah, when Batgirl appeared with Wile E. Coyote, yeah, that was.
I heard that was a romantic comedy made in France.
And it was a musical starring Wile E. Coyote. He doesn't sing, but he dances.
Starring Will Ferrell. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. You guys
call
got to
it
be.
the Anti-Adam Project.
Well, there's actually I read something like last week or the week before that they said that the Acme versus Wile E. Coyote movie might not be entirely shelved. They might try to do something with it.
Yeah, because
Well,
everyone was like, what the heck?
Why
They've
make
tried
an
to take
entire
lips-
movie and then shelve it? I don't get that.
Well, it's a tax write-off. It all has to do with it's like The Producers. Watch The Producers. It's what
Oh.
the real movie is. And they then, after people got so upset that they were going to can it, they then paid lip service to we'll shop it around, but they shopped it around for a high price tag, and there were people willing to buy it, but not for 20 million or whatever it was. They were willing to pay like 17 or 18, and they went, "No, we won't take that."
Your
Crazy.
childhood
Well-
means nothing.
Well, the Batgirl movie, didn't they film the entire movie?
Yeah.
Well,
it's done.
Michael
Acme was
Keaton
done.
showed up in it, didn't he?
It was
Yeah.
in can.
They
Yeah.
released Aquaman 2 and canned the
man.
Batgirl movie.
Mhm.
Well,
Think
the
about
thing
it.
with Aquaman 2, though, is Aquaman 2 was too high profile for their egos for them to cancel, because it had been advertised for a year, and all of the fuss about Amber Heard and all of that, they would have had a lot of egg on their face public relations wise if they canceled that. Nobody really cared that much about Acme because it wasn't in the public eye.
Yes, and everyone cares about Amber Heard. Just ask her.
Well,
She and Mike
it's-
Myers are rather full of themselves, yeah.
What's funny with that? It's funny with that movie because everyone was like online saying, "Oh yeah, her role's been cut to like 5 minutes." Blah blah blah. I saw the movie in the movie theater. She was in it like a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they were talking about because she was in the movie quite a bit. So
It was all just publicity. It was
I
just
know.
driving.
She should
driving-
have mentioned Katie Moss, then she would have been in the movie too. God.
that movie's
But
not
that
as
movie
bad.
didn't
People
do
trash
well.
that movie. That movie's not as bad as people say it is. I mean, it's a fun movie. It's not going to win an award, but it was fun.
It's not as bad
Was
as
it
The
better or
Flash.
worse than Shazam 2?
Yeah, but
Shazam.
Shazam 2 was better.
Shazam. Oh, Fury of the Gods?
Yeah.
Oh no, I think Aquaman 2 is better.
Okay.
Fury of the Gods was terrible.
I couldn't stand Aquaman 2. I couldn't accept the fact that this is how the DC universe was going to sulkily leave my streaming network.
So we're going to watch Fury Road of the Gods, which is where Shazam comes down in a post-apocalyptic future.
And then he sings in a French musical number.
He's playing a piano while he's coming down in the...
I should have just picked Moulin Rouge and gotten it out of the way.
Yeah.
You pick Moulin Rouge, I'm going to have to come to your house and kick your ass.
I'm going to move on your Rouge.
If it makes you feel any better, Adam, I hate that movie.
What?
Moulin Rouge?
Checking that.
Before Cats, my Cats is Moulin Rouge, honestly.
I love Moulin Rouge.
I know, you like cats.
I do too. It's true. All right. I think we're wrapping up.
We're wrapping up Saturday.
Yeah, we
will
started
be
late
back
today. We should get out of here.
Yeah, it's 10:20 to you guys. KDKA Pittsburgh, 10:20 a.m. Saturday we have Caryata live in a car with Rafi and I.
Bogut in the morning.
We'll be on the road on Saturday. So
In a Cybertruck.
In a surprise car, not a Cybertruck.
Pacer.
They were going to do a Cybertruck, but it broke down in the car wash, so they couldn't.
I saw one today at Starbucks. I'm like, dude, go park that thing. It might go through Starbucks.
Those are Tesla makes nice cars, but that Cybertruck is an ugly monstrosity.
Tesla makes nice toys. Not
Tesla
cars.
is a
nice
like we
cars.
said on set. Tesla is making. They're a software and charging company, and that's what they'll be. in 10 to
Battery
15 years.
technology, yeah. Battery technology and production automation. That's their stock and trade.
Yeah, the software in their cars is better than any other electric car.
Except for their self-driving.
It's better than any other car. It's not great.
Mercedes is the first company to actually get approval for the next level of automation, some operation in the U.S. where you don't have to necessarily keep your hands on the wheel at all times.
Nice.
They're ahead
I can
of-
take the
they're
hands
ahead
off
of
my wheel for 15 seconds before it starts beeping at me.
I can see.
Wow,
Eric
that's
falling
exciting. You can
asleep.
take a 14-second nap.
I do all the time. It's like this.
You freeze.
All right.
Don't forget, May 22nd, get your tickets.
Yeah, get your tickets May 22nd if you're going to be in town.
There we
Scott
go.
will be there. Scott's directing it.
I'll be there.
Adam will be there front and center. Adam, I really think you should get an aisle seat
Why?
because they're all good seats in that theater.
Yeah, but I like
Get
that.
dead center.
I like that front row because I could put my drinks on the stage while I'm sitting
No,
there.
I'm gonna knock them right in your lap if you put your drink.
And
on
you
the
can
stage.
throw stuff at the. You can have a bag of rotten tomatoes with you.
I'm gonna. You know what? Actually, Adam, I'm gonna have a T-shirt made with my set list on it. I'm gonna make you wear it.
That's fine. There you go. I mean,
That way
trust
I
me.
sit down and
I'm
Adam like, oh, okay, what's next?
well, trust
No,
me.
halfway through the show, you're going to go, okay, flip over.
Yeah,
Adam, trust me. I'm fat. I'm fat enough. You can fit the set list on a T-shirt. So,
hey, I put it on a coaster the other night. So
I mean, you can. You got a lot of real estate. Pimp me out. That's fine.
Adam,
All
can
right,
you lift that?
everybody.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, thank you.
Speaking of Adam, the Adam Project.
The
Adam
Adam
Project
Project.
next week.
Next
Yeah,
Monday.
Project.
The Adam Project,
Monday.
subtitled "How to Grow a Beard."
Monday.
All right. We will see you then.
Bye, everybody.
Deuces.